Hi, beauties. We're going live now for another Soul Care Live class. And I need to make sure that all the sounds and technical bits are right. So I'm going to do that. And I'm going to invite our special guest, Louisa. Hi, I see you. I'm going to invite you. Yes. Let me check. There you go. Yes, I hear something happening.
I see you.
Oh, and you're getting here. Hi.
Camera. My camera. That was the.
I hear you well and I see you well. The only thing is I need to do one thing on my end for the technical bits because I still hear you on my laptop as well. So 1 second, sorry. Thanks everybody for being here already. And hi Jay Rune. Hello. We're doing one last technical thing and then we're ready to go.
Great. And do I have to unmute my? No,
You've done that already, right?
no, not it. I didn't unmute it yet.
Oh no, please, you can keep it this way.
Yes. Good.
It's good. And we don't have any echoes, or do we now? Do you hear any echo?
No.
Right. I do not hear any echoes either yet, but if they come up for some reason, please let us know because then I need to do something over here on the technical part.
Good.
Um, Welcome, dear Louise. Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much, Beauty, for being here.
Yeah. Happy. Happy to that you have me. Yeah.
Well, it's an honor. And today's topic, we have already someone in the room here, Jay Rune, and everything sounds great from that point too. Thanks so much, Jay Rune. I love that. Um, for everybody hopping in and joining us for this live class, my dear team and I, but I'm also speaking like you and I today, our team too, Louisa.
Yes.
Um, Thank you so much for everybody that wants to ask any questions or feels like chatting with us or just feels that something resonates and you have a question or something to say about it. Feel free to type that in the chat box below or send us any DMs afterwards. We will record this material so that you can have access to it in any other time for our future podcast, but also on our social media, and you'll be having access to this not only today. So if you missed it, you can always watch it back. I'd love to let you know that today's topic is all about how to improvise, including the openness to switch to any other topic if that surfaces in the moment when when you're working with your clients, but also in life or maybe with your family members or your children. And I believe that Louise Bijkerk is the best teacher on this topic, and she's such a beautiful soul, and I'd love to give her a warm welcome by sharing a little bit about you that I know up until now, and then give some space afterwards, of course, if I might have left out on anything that you'd like to share with us. Um, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So what I've come to learn is that, and it was beautiful to get to know more about you that I didn't know yet. But what I've come to learn is that you've always had this big interest in music and always had, as I kind of understood it, maybe have always been sensitive to it too, and helped you be energetic in that way. And you had this like number one go-to, and that was singing.
Yeah.
And um, at some point in life, well, not just magically, you worked really hard to get to the point where you became a music therapist.
Mm-hmm.
And now you don't only do that, but you're actually a DJ, and you call yourself DJ Aladdin Dragon, which I think is a beautiful name. And you do so many things on your entrepreneurial journey now. I believe that there's a lot to learn from you and a lot to discover still. So
For me
yeah.
as well. For me as well.
Yeah. Well, and that's probably why you're also a teacher on this topic, being able to stand in life that way, being open and willing to learn. That's a big, beautiful life skill that I think a lot of people are looking for on this earth and love to learn from. I know I always love to learn, and I'm grateful to get to learn from you today, as you are the expert, really. Also, what I think is beautiful to kind of add to that is that there's a big strength in you being able to be in the now that way. That it always takes a lot of trust. Well, maybe the wrong word to say takes trust, but it's you have to kind of get through or with trust within to be able to dare to be in the now. For many people, that's something that is really scary, or it might mean that you kind of have to face some old fears in order to really sink into that. And I'm just grateful that you are here sharing your wisdom with us today. Yeah, did I leave out on anything? Would you like to add anything?
Well, no, this is what comes up now, and I believe that's the main in the, how do you say it, in grote lijnen, in big lines. No, in general. This is a. There were a few things you said, like being in the now, and it takes courage or trust, and sometimes you have to face the fears that are standing in the way. I believe it's the only way to confront yourself with whatever is happening inside. It's the only way, being in the now and feeling what is present now and moving with that energy. And that can be everything. The energy that's present can be anything. But of course, it takes courage. And for me, well, you call me an expert. Yeah, well, in a way, I am an expert, but we all are experts. But I'm aware that, or I'm using the energy that is present, of course, for a reflection for myself. And I use it to translate it in movement, vibration, music. So that's my medium to channel, or to channel energy, and to also to stay present and to translate it in something I feel is it's an expression of a energy that's also it's how can I say it? It's fluid, liquid. It's always temporarily. That's what I have to say. Yeah.
I love that. I love how you even kind of seem to be doing that with the language, with the way you express yourself. I'm just so grateful for you being here, and also for the beautiful work that you do with people. Could you maybe share a bit on, I will give at the end of today some space if you like to share an exercise, of course, or if we have some space at the end as well to let people know where they can find you and what it is that you do now, but just to already dive into that just a little bit. I believe that you have this beautiful website where you work, and it's called Camping Ooh La La. Did I understand that right?
Oh yeah, Camping Ooh La. Oh, that's nice that you mentioned Camping Ooh La La. Yeah, Camping Ooh La La is yeah, that's a festival. It's a festival in the eastern part of the Netherlands, in Winterswijk, close to the German border, and it's a yeah, it's called an absurdistic conscious festival or gathering, or and the initiator of that festival is Jeroen Kummeling, and well, I'm assisting him uh, to yeah, to to organize. So
Mhm.
that's what I do in that festival.
All right.
So yeah. So that's mainly, that's his initiation, and of
Okay.
course I yeah I support this kind of community and gathering and festivals, and it's cultural, there's music, of course, music, ecstatic dance, and
Mm.
yeah. But what I
Yeah.
also like, and that's something that's also me,
Mhm.
is the how to say it, it's with a knipoog, with a like. Of course, we have consciousness, so we have all kinds of gatherings and workshops, and um, and of course they are valuable. You learn a lot, and you can choose so many flavors. And what's unique, and what's also part of my presence, is humor. Humor, can I say
Mm.
it? Yeah, of course. Growing, learning, consciousness. It's a deep, uh, uh, serious. Most of the times, it's a serious business, but it can be light and um, um, playful as
Yeah.
well. Yeah, yeah, that's a part I really. That's important for me in my life, and also in, yeah, in general. So that's part of the festival also. So it's serious. It's,
And it's fun.
yeah, it's also fun.
Yes, and that's so important. It's great that you point that out because this path of, the inner work journey in that way, or this journey towards inner peace,
Mhm.
if we can say it that way, it that we'll find a lot of things to look at within that might sometimes be painful or might be triggering, or there are some depths in us to feel through in order to heal through,
Yeah,
right? Just like you said, it can be some serious things that we get to know of
yeah,
ourselves. It might need some more being serious and taking ourselves serious to get through it and dare to feel through it. And at the same time, that does not have to be super, super strict. That can be playful and
yeah,
just like you teach in the ecstatic dance, I presume, I
yeah,
think, you
yeah,
can move through that,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
With the music that you help people
yeah,
with.
yeah, yeah. It's, of course, it's a journey. It's like life. It's a journey. So, and the way music, no, well, then we start a little bit about music, but music is a medium that goes through time and space. You cannot, like, it comes, it's a multi-dimensional medium. So,
Mhm.
and the way the vibrations or the music touch you, it's for everyone also different. The same kind of music can trigger for me sweetness or tenderness, where another somebody else feels pain or grief or melancholy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's also the power of music, and also you cannot. Music is it goes straight to through all the layers. You only when you and close your eyes, but still then you feel music when it's. But Yeah, so music is a very powerful tool to enter layers or dimensions in yourself, uh, which with language, you talked about language, you cannot reach. You cannot, yeah. Of course, you have beautiful poets or people who can write. So uh, poetic that it goes straight to the heart or straight to the soul. Of course, it's a gift as well. Um, yeah, but music is very powerful, and also the when you hear music, rhythm, little children, if you put music on, they start to move in the pulse of the music. So it's so primal. It's in our DNA. It's like and yeah. So movement and music, um, yeah, are very natural and very multidimensional, and also very earthly, because it's your body. It's physical. So yeah, for me, it's a very powerful combination to work with. And yeah.
Oh, I love that. Thank you for explaining also how these music frequencies kind of enter us, and how that is how it combines the earth elements there, but especially on that path of towards inner peace, let's say it that way. Um, one of the hardest things for us human beings is to also implement and integrate everything on the physical level, right? Because that's the most dense energy there is. So it's just like you said, it's the music that helps get through that dense energy in that way.
Yeah.
And I love that so much. We're diving into this beautiful flow now. But maybe one thing about where people can find you, or when people want to find you at the end, where when we share all information about you, can people still follow musical therapy with you as well? Do you still do that, or how does that
Well,
work?
yeah, good question. First of all, I do, well, of course, it's called in the general music therapy. I do not use that term for myself, because therapy doesn't is a word. I'm very also sensitive for words and the the energy that it's in word.
Yeah.
Using music um, to as a medium
Mhm.
to feel, I would say, and I still use music and to feel or to move through, or to heal, or to be confronted. So all those qualities that music uh, has in itself, I still use. So people also voice, using your voice. Um, I still use it. I still am, but I do not call myself a musical therapist. But I'm an intuitive.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, intuitive. Yeah, you know, I thought a lot about the term. You can use coach, therapist, healer. Um, I use music and movement and nature. That's a
Mhm.
um,
To guide your clients in that way, right? To get to
yeah,
themselves.
yeah, yeah. And it's a
Beautiful.
journey, and it's a journey um,
Yeah.
which can be different every time.
Yes, it is. And just a little check-in with people that came through, that are listening now, or that came through here live. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Mira Maria, Norja, hi there. Thank you. everybody for hopping on and for being here. If you have any questions while we're in this beautiful chat on
Yeah.
today's topic, how to improvise, feel free to, write them down here below. Hi, Felina, another Felina, I believe.
Oh, that's
Hi,
great.
you're great that you're here. Type in any question you have, or if you listen to this on the podcast in the future, feel free to send us a message, or find us, or find any of the information we share in the show notes below this podcast episode. That you can find everything you need, also to your way to find Louisa if you want. All right, so let's dive in a bit further. Today's topic: how to improvise, including daring to feel the openness on working with any other topic in the moment, if that surfaces. This is something that a lot of coaches, therapists, clients working right now, listening right now, working with their own clients, might be struggling with, or trying to find their way towards. Like, how do you then, when you prepare and your client shows something else, or they come up with something else in that day, how do you deal with that in a moment, and how can you kind of flow with that? That's kind of how I also understand the improvising part. And I'd love to ask you, Louisa, like, how did you get to this topic being something, becoming more of an expert in? What does it mean to you?
Well, there are more questions in one. I hear. How did I came up with this topic, or how did I become an expert in this? What I find working for a lot of years, also as a coach and as a therapist, of course, music therapist, is that by thinking upfront, so already what I did before was like intake, hey, calling, and then, okay, well, what's going on, and then somebody has a question or something, or some topic or a problem, and then you're going to work with that, and it's what I did before was also a lot more with language, so talk, like we do now, and in how it works when somebody comes, and then you already had this conversation, you know a little bit about each other, and then you're going to work with that topic. 9 of the 10 times that day, something else pops up, or some in the meanwhile, when you had the conversation and somebody comes to you, something changed, or they had an insight, or whatever, or something. So what I did in the past also, okay, then I'm going to work with that. I believe very much in the now. So what is present in the now, what comes forth, that's what's present now. So I maybe with my thinking and my will power, no, we talked about this, so we're going to work. So that's not how it works for me. And now when I work with somebody, there is no preparation. There is no preparation. I trust. I have my intuition, and I have my, I would say, tools, and those tools, a lot of them are life experience. They're not like books or knowledge, like, it's life experience, and trusting. There it is. Trusting the moment, and trusting what's presenting in that moment, and trusting myself that I am able, or maybe also trusting, maybe not.
Mm-hmm.
That, but trusting that I'm able to hold space. That's the only thing. That's it.
Yes, I love that.
And holding space, it can mean a lot. It can mean different things. But being present, and then magic happens.
Yeah.
And it sounds very simple.
And it
And
is. Yes, it is that simple. It might be the way we've been raised and the education we've all followed, where we've kind of learned to live in that rush and kind of stack things up onto each other, thinking
Mhm.
that it has to be difficult because that's the way we were
Mm,
wired for so long, right?
yeah.
And it's actually about the going in reverse,
Yeah,
taking it
exactly.
really slow and taking off all those layers.
Yeah, and structures and you know, I have to do it like this method, and step one, two, and of course, and when you're a surgeon or when you're somebody who needs to help deliver a baby, whatever. Oh, no, no, that's not a good, because there also is it very is flowing with the energy, but you know what I mean. When you're a surgeon or a dentist or whatever, you need to follow some steps. Of
Sure.
right?
You have
So it's good that we have some structure,
yeah.
but in general, yeah. And that's where I learned this when I was working as a music therapist. I had to my clients were a lot of the time people with Alzheimer's or you know, and so they had a file you know, with a lot of
Information about them. Yes.
yeah, exactly. And then you have the doctor. Well, I don't this the and they asked me go to Mr. X,
Yeah.
and he has depression, and
Mhm.
you can do something with music. That was my way of I was working, and a lot of times I didn't look in the files. I did go to Mr. X, and I did nothing with music. I
Mhm.
just present, and when I felt music was um, a medium that was helpful in a moment, of course, I could use it. But a lot
Mhm.
of times I didn't. Of course, I didn't tell my colleagues, and I didn't tell because I had to work on music because I'm a music therapist, and but yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of times it was just being there and listening to sometimes speak, but sometimes listening to the energy, and sometimes just touching a hand and be present.
Mm.
And I believe it touches me. Yeah.
Mm. It's so beautiful. Thank you
And
for sharing your depths.
because that's the essential, the essence
Yeah.
of who we are. And the way we do it, so if you do it through being a breath coach, a tantric coach, a music coach, whatever, dancing, movement, it doesn't really matter. Of course, you do um, what is part of who you are or your essence, which you feel comfortable and natural in. But it's all about being present.
Mm. Thank you for your beautiful heart here and the way you are so real when working with people. And if you're listening as a therapist or a coach or all of those other names, it really doesn't matter. You're beautiful the way you are. And when you're working in this field or in this area to guide others towards their healing, as I see you do now, dear dear Louise, is you're really doing it with the heart, right? And it might help people that are maybe listening to this or watching this that are on their journey but feel, you know, maybe a bit anxious about their qualities or their expert status, or, you know, do they have what it takes, or who is waiting for you? Yes, we are all waiting for you. And yes, you can do it too. The only thing you need is that big heart of yours.
Mm.
And you have all the tools and life skills you need right now.
Mm.
And I just wanted to share that because of your beautiful heart here, that, you know, there are people listening that might be really insecure about that.
Yeah,
And
I can feel them because I was there as well. And I can still be there. I can still be there. We're all human.
yeah.
Yeah, I can still feel sometimes, you know, ooh, what am I doing? Am I enough? Eh? Um, yeah, of course. And also being true, authenticity. That's we're all human, and also when you put yourself out there, like you and I and a lot of other people, um, being there for others. Yeah, you know, we're all learning from each other. You know, that's it. And um, I can be touched as well, like now, but also when of course, I'm not always, but I can be touched by some other soul or moments. And then I'm not pushing it away. That's there. Okay, can be touched.
And it's welcome.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
welcome because you are human and because you dare to trust. And the authenticity is what also helps other people feel safe and comfortable then, right? And that's what's so beautiful about it. And about all of you listening or watching, but also you, Louisa, and everything that we try to put out here in this world. Nobody's perfect. Nobody is. Everybody's human. And at the same time, everybody is perfect in that human behavior and in those ways and in our little flaws
yeah,
that are just part of it.
yeah. It's all experience. It's an everything is an experience, and yeah, um, and sometimes it's always different. It can be
Yeah.
painful, it can be very joyful, it can be all kinds of things, and yeah, I'm very grateful when I work with people when they can feel themselves, be themselves, um, and sometimes maybe be amazed by themselves or amazed, but like, um, yeah, that they trust life or trust themselves. Yeah.
Mhm. May I ask you, and feel free to share wherever you want to go with the share, of course. May I ask you, also for people listening, what helped you on your own life journey with your own life experiences? What experiences might have been some deep ones for you, or maybe at first painful ones that helped you actually transform into who you are now? Like, what what was that experience, or what were a few of them? And how did you get to kind of thrive now with them?
Hmm. Interesting question. Good question. And of course, I now my mind is like, okay, what can I say? Um, um, well, I think my most important life experience or event, that's the foundation of well, one of the foundations, of course,
Mhm.
of me being able to live or like I do now. Uh, that has been the death of my brother when I was 6 and he was 4,
Oh.
and the sudden um, like shift. in my whole perspective, but also my consciousness of my safe, safe world being a child, that there is something like death, and that it's definite, or do you say it like
definite? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the foundation for me. So now also I can be grateful for this experience, and also for to him. Wouter is his name. For him playing or being that part in my life, because it's very, he's very important in that way, and it's a gift. I recently realized I felt that, so that was a really special moment for me as well. Not realized, I realized it before, but I could feel it. That it. So, and going through life with this, perspective, awareness about life and death and all this. It was a struggle for me. A long time. It has been a struggle. And when I was 33, the magic number, I had how do you say it? Breakdown. How could you say it? I had a breakdown, and there was also a big shift around the letting go of control, letting go of control, because I was so becomes
Tightened.
I was holding on. I was very tight in everything I did in my life up till that point. It seemed I was very free, but I was not. So I had this time. It was given to me to go through a big transformation and a shift. And after that, there was the beginning of a path I walk now. It was the beginning. I'm still on it and will be. But there I could open up more and let go more and more and more of this control. Wow. So, yeah.
Thank you, lovely being, for being so real and open and brave, and also for sharing this, because I think this is, I can relate to it in many ways, and to the death, but also to dealing with painful situations which can sometimes lead to controlling behaviors just to feel safe.
Yeah.
And then to find that safety is never outside of us, but it can only exist here, and there's even more space for feeling safe when letting go, right?
Yeah.
It can be such a deep journey to get to that point. And I love it that you dare to share it with us, and that you are so, that the depths of you. I love how I get to connect on that beautiful depth here. It's really, I love it so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I hope that everybody listening or watching this now can also relate. I see that new people have come on this Instagram live version as well. I see Dimfy, I see Nanumo Art, and 8 others have joined just recently. So thanks, beautiful beings, for being here. And I just love that. I'd love to share that there was somebody saying that, giving you hearts as well. And also saying she's empowering me, not only assisting, she's really empowering me. And that's Jeroen, I think, from the Ulala camping.
Yeah. That's Jeroen, yeah.
Love it. Beautiful. Thanks for sharing that, and for being here, and for the beautiful work you both put out in this world. We're about to get to, well, slightly towards the end already, and I just love to kind of give some space, maybe, especially now when the topic is how to improvise, including openness to any other topic. Could you maybe take us with you on a little 5-minute exercise or something like a tool or a resource, whatever fits you or fits now, that you feel that will help people, maybe being a coach or therapist themselves or thinking of becoming one, to maybe themselves get into the now and improvise, but maybe you have another idea. And I'm just open to whatever flows through you. So I'd just love to
Oh,
hear
that's interesting. Oh, if I'm now upstairs. The first thing that comes to mind is play a little piano, just now in the now for the people who are listening. Just why I did, yeah, that pops up for me. So I go downstairs. I take my phone and I will play a little, and I play what pops up now and what comes up now, and just I'm not a pianist. I had to learn play piano when I was studying, and I was always told, "Oh, you're such a bad piano. You cannot play piano. It's very difficult." I could not play from the notes. I can read music, but it was so difficult for me. Like, and now I improvise,
and now you do play it beautifully. I've heard it.
so just that's my empowerment. I just do it. Just do it. Start whatever feels good for you. And I have a piano. So I will play a little
Sure.
for you. Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
I walk downstairs.
All right.
Little of my house. And now I go into a dark. Go downstairs.
I love it. Thanks for doing that.
This is okay. This is interesting. Okay. I will put this down. Yeah. Okay.
I hope.
Prepare for this at all. So.
All right, no worries. The thing is, because we're also recording this on Zoom to have the best quality, and of course we don't now have the Zoom recording here, so we just work with the quality we now have. Okay, dear. All right.
I forgot that. I'm sorry.
No worries. No worries. Just hope that it's okay for you.
For me, it's totally fine.
All right.
Okay.
Wow. So beautiful. Thank you so much for bringing that beauty, and for somehow it came into my system, as you just said, um, in a really deep way. It was so, so warm. Thank you. What was it
You're
like for
welcome.
you? Thank you, dear. I hope that people were able to enjoy it as well, listening or watching. What was it like for you to kind of get that chance to improvise in this way, and what did you express through the piano?
Well, it was interesting because I started to play and my daughter, and she wanted to come in. Hey, mom! I'm like, oh, wait. So I was a little distracted in the beginning, but
Mhm.
I was able to come back to the moment, how it
Yeah.
was for me. You know, it's interesting because it's calm. It was a calm. Yeah, calm. That's the word that comes. Yeah.
Calm. That's kind of what I got from it too, and
Mm-hmm.
it was so beautiful. Thank you, dear.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks so much.
You're
I would love for people to find their ways to you,
Yeah,
uh, so that they can hear more of this beautiful, beautiful music piece and
yeah,
all the music that you make. Um, I believe you even do a kind of concerts where people can
yeah,
lay down.
yeah, yeah,
And well, you got a little taste of it now, but there's much more to experience it.
yeah, yeah,
Um, so I've just three more questions, and I'd love to then dive into the closure of today. And thank
yeah.
you, of course. Um, so one is, what is the biggest insight for you since you're on your entrepreneurial journey, on the things that you've been able to work through and your conscious path? And yeah, what has been the biggest insight since the last 2 years for you?
Stay true to yourself.
Mm, love that one. Yes. And
Yeah,
how do
even if
you
that means
do it?
saying no to things which might appear as very appealing, you
Mhm.
know. And of course, you can make conscious, if you make a choice, you can make a choice. Just, but if you're aware of why, but still, for me, it fires back. Not staying true to myself and yeah, it fires back. So staying on that path and that, uh, trusting that.
Yeah, yeah. Point dot
Yeah,
there.
point. Yeah,
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. And that the saying no and just trusting in it will
yeah,
help you be true to yourself. And that is the
yeah,
most important thing you can do.
yeah, and also the experience, of course. And I'm sure, Feline, it's the same for you and other people who are listening, maybe as well. If you do that, then you meet the people or you will be in the circumstances that will support you in who you are, and not by walking a path that's not you.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Yes, exactly. That then you attract people that really resonate with the authentic you,
yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. And another one. I'm not sure if you're a big reader, but if you're,
No,
doesn't
no.
have to be, maybe you're a podcast listener, or maybe you're a YouTube video viewer.
Yeah.
Let's just say it
Okay.
that way. Like, is there, is there a book or some tool or episode that you've listened to, or somebody that you follow, that you've just recently discovered and that you feel is super inspiring and that might help others as well listening or watching to dive into that?
Actually, I have to say no. I you know, I do, of course, I do watch some podcasts or but uh, I do not have a person or a book or that's also something that's well, I have to say maybe typically me. Of course, I hear very valuable things or information. Um, but a lot of them are from like people around me. And the context I have with the short or the insights I get from those encounters.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so yeah, that's for me in general the way and yeah. So
Yeah, beautiful.
and my
Thank you.
daughter is also somebody who can like it's in this it's in the yeah it's in those encounters or yeah relations where I got the most valuable information in combination with experience, because that for me is in general the most yeah the most impactful. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. And just to take it one step further, so how can this be helpful for our listeners and viewers today then? So what can they do with their connections with the people around them so that they can learn from that? You know what I'm
Yeah,
looking for that
yeah.
step.
Well, it's of course yeah. They are reflections of
Mhm.
you, and it doesn't matter who it is or how well you know this person. They are all reflections of you. So and it can be in different ways, of course. And to uh, to research or to find out what a trigger or why you don't or like the situation or why you don't like a certain person or behavior.
Yeah.
A lot of times it does something about, or not always, it tells something about you. And to find
Mhm.
out what it is, that's interesting. Yeah.
Mm, I love this. Thanks so much for sharing this because this is so important. We might all be, have these beautiful gurus or people that we follow, but in the same time it's the people around you that are often closest to you that are the biggest teachers, right
Yeah.
here in the moment.
Yeah.
And I love how you point that out so that for everybody watching or listening, if you get the chance to see where you're triggered in connection with the people that are closest to you, and you have the chance and the tools, or you know where to find us or anyone
Yeah.
else that
Yeah.
works well for you. If you know a way to kind of look at those triggers, then your biggest teachers are close to you. I
Yeah,
love that.
exactly. Yeah. And that's, yeah. And I believe it really is. And of course, you have gurus or big writers, and they have beautiful books or things to teach or to learn, and that's great. Yeah,
Yeah,
but close to you, you feel it. You feel it directly in yeah your body. It's in the moment. It's again in the moment happening.
yeah, exactly. I love the circle is round again.
Yeah, yeah,
Bring it all back into this moment.
yeah,
So just some last ways where I'd love to ask you, where can we find you? We'll of course put it in the show notes for people
yeah.
too, so that they put links.
Mm.
But also for people listening that are not right here able to click on anything, where can we find you? Where can we work with you if we want to?
Yeah.
Where to go?
Yeah. Well, where can you find me? Oh, well, you can find me on Facebook. I have my personal Facebook, Louise Bijkerk. You can find me there. That's an easy, well, for most people.
How do you spell that if we're English and we don't know
Oh,
the language?
yeah, great. That's a difficult difficult name. You get Bijkerk. Louise,
All right.
and then Bijkerk. And you can find me on Facebook.
Yeah.
You see my picture, so then you can see me. You recognize me probably, because maybe there are more Louise Bijkerks. I don't know, but I have Louise, same name, louisebijkerk.com. It's a website. I'm still working on it. I think those, yeah, and ecstatic dance Twente. Twente is TWENTE.nl.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. It sounds perfect. I think we've got some material and some links to go to, and I'd say do so. Beautiful being here live. Also, thank you, Hilal, Sandra, Nienke. Thank you, everybody who joined later. It was beautiful to have you here, and we're grateful that you joined us. We will record this for our future podcast, so you can listen it later on as well. And thank you so much, dear Louise, for your knowledge and your wisdom and your in-the-moment trust and the beautiful example that you set with that beautiful way of leadership, which is, in my view, a soulful way of doing that. And I really enjoyed being in your company and in your realness and around you and your big heart. And I hope that people were too and learned a lot along with me. And is there any last thing, like a saying or a motto that you live by, that you'd say might be good for people to know that about you?
I think that the mottos which I live by are very well highlighted in this conversation, and I want to thank you, Feline, for also creating this space for people like me and other beautiful people who are sending and giving from their essence to this world, like you do. So I'm really grateful also for you. Yeah.
Thank you, dear, for saying that. They come all the way into my heart and body. And it's such a pleasure and such a gift to may have done that together with you today.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I will round off today's live class here on Instagram, and I'll see you soon.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.